Thomas, we want to take a look at your video from camp. I'm going to let it run a couple times. I'm going to let the first one run in normal speed. Then I'm going to come back, let it run in slow-mo. And then we'll come back and I'm going to start breaking it down and analyzing and making some comments and some suggestions to help you improve.
Thomas Folks, class of 2031.
All right, Thomas, you did a good job. Kick that ball right down the middle, buddy. There's a lot of good things you're doing here. I'm going to kind of touch base on each segment of it and just kind of help you along here on some things we're going to try to fine tune you a little bit here. First off, right here, we ask you to give your name and year of graduation. This is what we always do at the camps, and we want you to, as soon as you do that, you hustle into the ball game. Always hustle in the game. And good job hustling up there. You want to get up there and get your point of placement marked and everything. So you're doing a good job jumping. It's just like in a ball game. Always jog in, hustle in to get to your spot there with the holder, so you have time to make sure you mark your spot correctly. As you're jogging in right here, it's always a good habit. Anywhere you're coming in on the field, whether you're coming in from right here, you're coming in over here, it's going to be kicked from either hash or so forth. As you're jogging in, always try to glance where your target is. Right at this setup, you want to know exactly the specific targets you're kicking towards, because when you're marking your steps off, it's very important to know exactly where you want to kick that football. Because when you set your mark here, up here on this spot, and you start taking your steps back, you want to be stepping directly back from that mark, from where you're going to be kicking the ball. So if you're kicking it from over here, you'd be stepping directly back from over here or over here. So just really important. So right here, I'm not able to tell what your eyes are doing, but hopefully you're looking here, checking your target where you're going to be kicking the ball right as you get ready to set your mark here. Okay, as you hustle up there, get up to your holder. This situation, he's already got your block set. He set it for you. It could be your holder. You guys work together all the time, whatever it is with your team. When you get lined up, then once that block is set, you set it down, or even if you're kicking off the ground, you see where he's got his finger. That you put your foot there, and you pretty much determine exactly where that mark's going to be. So if you're kicking it off the ground, that's what you're going to do with the block. You already set the block. You already showed him where you want it to be. So now you're going to take your right kicking leg, since you're right. You want to set that, line that right kicking foot right there, lined up with the block, and it looks like you're doing a really good job of that. It looks like you're right on that spot right here. There's the block. You put your foot right there. You got yourself set. Looks pretty good. Now, what would help now right here, let's see if you do it now. Okay, what I'd like to see you do right here to make sure you're more accurate. And you do a good job, but I want you, this is just another little thing that gives you a little checkpoint. Right there before you mark it, go ahead and glance again. Look at your spot, because you're going to be stepping directly back from that, okay? And if you know exactly the spot, when you step back, it's going to help you to be more precise. And you got to be precise on marking these steps off all the time. Our goal on these steps is to make sure we get you in the same spot every time, wherever it is, wherever that spot is, we got to be in that same spot every time. We'll find that out here in just a second. So right here, you're lined up. We'll start taking your steps back. Okay, now you start off with your left foot back. So you take a one, then you gather, let's see, gather, one, gather, one, gather. So, okay, so here's what you're doing here. Just watch this. I call it a gather step because you're taking a step and then you bring the other foot, gather, brings you right back to it. You take your second step, you bring the other step right to it. So I call it a gather step. Bring it to it, bring it right back to it. Okay, what I'd like to see you do is, you know, if you're standing out on this football field, and we just ask you just to start walking backwards, and just a nice, comfortable walk back, just like you're walking backwards. We don't want you to overstride. We don't want you to take baby steps. We want you just to walk comfortably like you're walking forward. Hey, walk normally. You just walk. You have a certain way you walk, and not a nice natural stride. Well, if we were to have you walk back, say walk back the length of the football field, you would have a natural stride that's very comfortable to you. Just a nice, what we call just a little walk back. You're walking back. And we don't want you taking big steps. We don't take you short. We just want you to take nice, relaxed, comfortable steps that it's natural to you. They're your steps. So right here, you're kind of just, you're taking that big step, and then you gather. Another second step, you gather. Then your last step, you gather. Why not just start right here and have your first step be, let your first step be with your kicking foot. So your first step, so you'd have 1, 2, and then your third step right there is 3. And if you want to take that fourth step, and that's just an alignment step, and I'll show you just a second, then you could do that. Then once you check your mark and make sure everything's lined up here, then you just bring this foot right back alongside of, you bring this foot right back here alongside the other one, and then you're back at 3. So it'd start right here. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 steps here. You check your alignment to make sure everything's all lined up, and then you bring this foot right back up to here, to this mark right here, and then you're back to 3. Then you take your lateral step, and then you take another lateral step. Okay, right now you're starting off with that left foot. 1, 2. You're getting to 3, but you're like stopping every time you do it. And I'd just rather see you just 1, 1. Make sure this does this here. 1, 2, 3. You're right there. And you could take the extra step to get your alignment if you need it. Then you'll bring it right back and you're at 3. And it's just a nice walk back. Okay. So right now I'd like to see you change that. So right here, check your target. Start your walk back here. 1, 2. There's your third. Now right here, you should stop. So you're getting to that third spot, and then you're taking off. You're already making your lateral steps. Get back here. Once you get back here, and now also look at this first step. So you're taking this first step with the left foot. It would be easier when you take it to the right foot. See how you go to the left? Look where you are right here. Watch when you take that step. Look, now you pulled off. Now you're to the left of the block. See, you're to the left of it. Now you're to the left of the block. I can see the block. You're still a little slightly to the left of the block because I can see it, plus your body's shifted over there. I position behind you, filming you, because I should not be able to see that football. Your right hip ought to be in the way, and it ought to be lined up exactly with that foot. Okay? And right now, so you're looking for that alignment right here in the ball, and you want it to be pretty much lined up with that foot, and you're just a shade on the inside of it. And I can see the ball. I shouldn't be able to see that football from back here at this vantage point from the video, but I can see it. Plus, you've shifted your hips over because you're already taken off. So you're not too bad had you not shifted your hips over too, but you could tell right here. See, you're lined up exactly on the block right now. You're lined up right on the block, but as you take that first step, now I can see the block. You've already gone to the left. Now Thomas, I'm being real nitpicky, but you got to be nitpicky on these steps. You got to be precise. These steps you're taking, they need to be precision. They need to be near as perfect as you can. And since you're doing them over and over and over and over again, and they're the exact same steps every time you're kicking a football, then you ought to be really good at it. So right here, and I'm going to show you these things I'm telling you about. It's going to help you make you better. But right here, you've already shifted slightly left, and you should be lined up exactly with the ball. Remember, our goal is we've got to get you in the exact same spot every time. Every time. You got to be right. You got to be at the same angle and the same distance from that football every time. And the only way we can do that is to make sure these steps are precise every time. Okay, so we'll adjust that. We'll work on it. Now, right here, you should right now pause, check to make sure this right foot, the ball, and the target are all in a straight line. Okay, you're really close. Other than I can see that football, but you're really close. And even though you know you're really close, I still want you to check it. You'll see those kickers in NFL. They'll have one extra step back here. Then they'll take the right hand, they'll run it right up the ball, up to the target, and then they'll bring it right back down. And they'll step back to here, and then they'll start their lateral steps. Okay? But they still check it. They still check it. Take time to check them. Make sure. Just take your right hand, run it right in front of your toe, your right kicking foot, go up through the ball, up to the target, bring it right back down. Make sure all 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Make sure all of them are lined up. Okay? Now, then you're going to do a 90-degree angle on your laterals. Here's a 90-degree angle. That's not a 90-degree angle. That's not a 90-degree angle. That's not. That is. 90-degree angle. Okay? So even if you're over here kicking, it's a 90-degree angle. No matter where you're kicking from, it's a 90-degree angle. Make sure so these angles, by doing the 90-degree, again, we're trying to make the kick. You're in the same position, you're in the same distance back, and you're in the same distance over, and it's the same angle every time kicking the ball, no matter where you are on the football field. Okay, so now you make sure we do that. Now your lateral step, you're kind of wide. That's a wide lateral step. Okay, well, you should probably be instead of about here, you should be about right here. Okay, so now this is putting you over there quite a bit on the wide side. There's a lateral one. And this one, let's just see how close they are being the same. That's lateral, that's pretty good size. That one is too. Now look how, say you turned your foot when you're doing these steps. Look how straight you got your feet right here. Both your feet are straight down the field. When you get back here, both feet ought to be straight down the field. When you get over here, both feet ought to be straight down the field right to here. Okay? But right here, when you do this, you know you're going to turn to face the football. So you see how you're turning your foot? See how your left foot's turned in? Go ahead and keep it straight. Keep it straight right here. And then once you bring this other foot, gather it, and bring it behind you, then you can adjust that foot to where it's facing right toward the plant foot. Your left foot, this foot here, should be facing right about where the plant's going to be. Your right foot will then be facing, coming to the ball. There's your railroad tracks right here. Right on the rail, okay? Now you need to have the opposite foot forward. So right here, see how you've done this? You've stepped there, and there's your mark. It actually looks like you almost stepped back. See your distance there. You might be slightly coming back. See how close you are to this line here? When you get over here, you look a little closer. See, you're closer. Look how close you are here. You're closer. So you're drifting back a little bit there. And we don't really care about these lines, but they do help us on that kind of reference. You don't really concern yourself. These lines mean really nothing other than distances for you. You know, they're distances on how far you're kicking the ball, but they don't mean really anything in terms of your steps. But I can see these steps, we're kicking in the middle of the field, so you should be basically parallel to these lines because you're in the middle of the field. Now, if you're over here, it wouldn't make any difference on those lines. So right dead center, that's about the only time that these lines you can be parallel to when you're taking those steps. Okay, now you're there. So you keep the foot forward. Then as you bring this foot here, then you can kind of position yourself. And all you should do right here since you've taken these steps, and again, these steps, I think these are too long of steps because see how you're reaching? Reach, reach, reach. You got yourself too deep because you're like, these are just long steps. They're not natural walking backward steps. So you've got yourself pretty deep right here. You're probably just guessing. You should be up in here and you're clear back here. Okay, and so now you're taking these real wide steps, which is now getting you too wide this way. So you're a great distance from the football for your size and ability at this point. Okay, older you get, but I believe even as you get older, you're not going to be this far back and this far over. Okay, so now you're just kind of wide here. So pivot there, and then you're going to take this foot here. It's going to be kind of over to the side with the foot kind of out just a little bit, and it's going and your left foot's going to be right where it is. This foot here is just going to come. You want to bring this foot back. Your right foot's going to be kind of back. It's going to be back about here, and the foot's just going to be kind of out to the side just a little bit, just kind of angled out. Not that right about like this, kind of like that. Okay, we'll work on that here in just a second. Okay, now right here, and then looks like you go here, and see you even step back further, and then you even got yourself back further. Now you got your arms up here, relax the arm instead of here, relax them down, just let them hang. Good eye contact on the ball. Good eye contact. You want to make sure that left foot's aiming toward here, and that keeps your shoulders and the rest of your body facing this same direction. You want your body, everything's facing that way, okay? So you're coming this way, everything's right on track there. All right? So you got your eye contact on the ball. Now here's what you should be leading. Let's see, it's what's your steps here. Okay, now that's like what you're doing, you're taking too many steps. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You should be like right here, should be maybe take this left foot, and then this foot's going to be back here, with this foot kind of to the side a little bit. And then this left foot's just going to take right through your left leg. You'll take a short jab with it, and then you'll take a drive step, and then you'll take a plant step. Okay? So right here, it's going to be short step, a jab step with the left foot, and then you're going to be taking the drive step, and then you'll take a plant step. So you should only be taking jab and 2 steps. And right now you're taking 1, 2, 3, 4. And that makes only sense because you've taken these real long steps you got yourself too deep and you got yourself too wide. And and I know this is early in the camp. You've already learned these things at the camp, probably already got them corrected, but it doesn't hurt to go over these again just to make sure. And the good thing is just on this, Thomas, you're learning, and this is kind of educating you on why we do what we do, and it helps you get more efficient and more efficient with your steps and your kicking motion, and it makes you better, more consistent. So right here, you'll do that. It looks like your approach is pretty good. See how your leg is right there? It's almost like this. See how you're doing this here? And that's a really good job. Look at your body here. You've gone from there to a lean. Just look at what you're doing here, except it should be just the opposite. Your left foot should be in this position right here, and your right leg is going to be like this. Okay? Just the opposite. And that would be your first step. So that would be your first step with your left. Then your second step would be with your right, and then your last step would be with your left as you plant. Okay, so again, we'll work on that. Good job right here. It looks like right here you're coming in. Nice job with your plant leg. You got a good job dropping your plant down there. You want to have that plant aiming right towards your target. You got your left arm out. That's good. Actually, you go take that left arm, come across your chest. The left arm as you kick with your right leg, the kicking motion, the motion with your right leg, your left arm counterbalances that, comes across the same simultaneously as your kicking legs coming through the ball. We'll show that here in just a second. Right here, I think you're reaching so much. We need to get this thigh and your foot up a little higher. But partly you're down here in this position because you've taken too many steps, and I think it's just got you a little, your body shifted just a little bit. So right here, we want to make sure you get a good pull back right here with your leg. It's not bad, but you can do better. I know you can. And then your foot's aiming towards, plant foot's aiming towards the target. Left arm comes across. Okay. You catch that ball pretty good. Now you're kicking off that block, a higher block, so you're going to hit it a little higher. But you want to, it looks like you got your foot pretty good position there. You want to kind of keep it right about there. See how you have your foot here? You want to make sure you got that toe is slightly below your heel. And it looks like you've done that pretty good. Keep that arm now. It looks like your arm, that right arm, you don't want to get right arm involved in it. See how you're taking that left arm, you want to come across your chest. You don't want to take it too low. You see why? Because see how if your leg comes up any higher, it's going to hit your arm, your left arm. See your left arm coming down? And you're taking that right arm and kind of pulling back. See that right arm? Let this right arm just hang. It's just like a rudder just hanging. It's a rudder on a boat. It's just kind of there. It's not, nobody's operating it. It's just hanging there. Just let that arm kind of hang. Let this left arm do the work. And don't pull yourself. See how you're kind of pulling that right arm back? It's pulling, and then that left arm, it's kind of jerking your chest down. And you make good contact with that ball. Look at that. You hit that ball pretty good. Makes pretty good contact. I like your plant foot. Good positioning on your plant. Now right there, just bring that arm a little higher across your chest. From here, just bring it across your chest there. Make contact. Kind of keep your eye. See your head. You kind of turn your head right there. See, look how you turn you twist your head to the left. Keep your head right here in the same position. And don't let yourself jerk down so much. And what I really like, Thomas, you're skipping, buddy. You're doing a good job. Look at that skip. Skip. Good job. Excellent. Skip right there. Just uninvolve this arm. Let it kind of hang. Keep this high. Keep this high instead of coming low. Keep it a little higher. And don't let yourself crunch down. Say you're kind of crunching right there. And that's partly because you're taking that right arm and shooting it back behind you. And then once you skip, try to let that kicking leg go. Continue on up toward that left shoulder and keep the skip. You're skipping exactly. See how your skip goes right with your leg? And I want to minimize seeing your foot over here. I don't want to see it too far over here, okay? See right there, you're kind of stopping. Go ahead and kind of let it go ahead, skip on through, and then bring your kicking leg down a little more out in the front of you a little bit. It's over, it's fine. You want to minimize it coming outside your body over here. Kind of keep it right up here and then right back down in here in front of you, okay? Pretty good job, everybody. You did a good job on this. I love the skip. Get good ball look how you get that ball up in the air. Right down the middle. Excellent job. And right here on the finish now, finish, stop, and just watch the fly of the ball right here. This is like it is in a game. I know you're used to chasing your football, but just stop right here. And another thing to do right here, Thomas, always kind of check your finish. So you mark those steps off, stop, see where your feet are when you finish, okay? Check the finish of your feet, body position, and watch the fly of the ball and get a good feel of how your body position is after you've kicked the football. We call it, just focus on the finish. Great job. Really good job on this. Okay, Thomas, I'm going to do a little extra for you here on the video. I got a little comparison. This is an exceptional college kicker who has tremendous technique. He was our #1 ranked kicker coming out of high school. He's just finishing up a college career where he set numerous records. Very talented. I'm going to compare him with you and let you see him and learn from him here. Just show you some of the common things you're doing, some things you need to work on. Now, right here again, you get a good position right here on getting yourself started on your alignment right here. See how you're all right here? Look how similar. Look at him. Look at you. Look at both of you. Where that hand is. You're right on that mark. You're right on that mark right here where you need to be. Okay. Your foot's directly behind that point of placement, which is where the block is. Or it would be if you're kicking off the ground right where the tip of his finger is, where you showed him where you want the ball spotted. Watch the kicker on the left. Now watch him how he takes his steps And I want to watch. This is what I want you to work on. Watch how comfortable he is right here. Watch this. Now he's already checked his target there. He's going to step directly back from that mark. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's his fourth step. Right at this point, this is where he's checking to make sure that his kicking foot right there, that's in front of that leg there, and right in front of his thigh is the point of placement, and right here is the target. He's checking right now that all these things, all three are lined up in direct line. Okay? So I cannot even see the block, but I just know he's done this right. Let's look at it again here. Watch him here. Look how straight he is. He's right on that line. Right on it. Right on it. Right on it. Now he checks it. See his right hand move up? Right there, he's checking it. Then watch what he does. He comes from there to right here and he stops. Okay, let's watch you. Now remember right here, see how you've drifted to the left of it? I can see the block. I shouldn't even be able to see the ball. I can see it now because you've drifted left. And see how you're taking these lunging steps back? You're kind of really reaching. These are too far. These steps are too big. They're not natural. They're just kind of one gather, two gather, three gather. We want to just nice 3 steps back. Again, watch him over here on the left. Watch his steps. Watch how comfortable they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he comes right 4. Now he's actually taking 3. He brings his feet back together. And now he's ready to take his lateral steps. Okay, let's get you to that point. Okay, you didn't hesitate. You kept going. You got to pause here and to check to make sure you're lined up in that right place. Okay, you got to check right there, check right there, check right there. Make sure all these things are lined up. So take the time. Stop right there now. So again, he's coming to here. He's paused. He's checking right there. Now he's taking his lateral step. That's his lateral step. Look how wide his lateral step is. Look how wide yours is. Okay? He's a college player. He's bigger than you. Done this a lot more. You would think he would have a real wide step compared to you, but he doesn't. He's got a more efficient step so that he doesn't need it that wide, neither do you. So you can see you need to shorten this down instead of about where you are right there. You want to shorten that step down from here, maybe to about here. Okay, so you don't want that wide a step. And now watch what he does here. Watch what he's doing right here. And look how both they look identical. Watch how his steps are. Right, he comes here, checks it. Watch lateral. They look identical. Checks it, lateral, lateral. And now watch, he's got that foot still straight ahead. And watch what he does here when he brings the other foot back. We'll tighten this down a little bit. And he just brings it behind. Now watch him shift that left foot and align it where it's aligned now. He's aligned it right toward where it's going to be planting. And that gets his shoulders, he gets his whole body, everything going in the same direction. And his eyes right down there at that point of placement. Okay, now, so he's got that foot lined up there. Watch what else he does. So he's come from here. Now he's got his feet set. Okay, now he's checking his target. We're going to bring you over here. Wide, and not to mention, not only are they wide, but you kind of drifted yourself back a little bit. You're kind of drifting back a little bit, and you need to be more right here. Okay? So you come in there. See where your foot is? Now this foot again, bring this foot on back behind you, just kind of like he's doing. And have your foot kind of lined up how he's got it. See how his foot is? His back foot. So you want yours. So get your foot. Again, watch him right here in this video. He does the lateral, lateral. Gets his left foot aligned. He just kicks the ground. That's just kind of his thing. And then look where he positions his feet. That's his foot position there in his stance. And you can see the difference with yourself. So strive to do that. Okay, now watch what he does here. Okay, now watch his eyes. Watch him right here. He checks the target. See him check the target? Now he looks back to the holder. The holder's ready. The moment that holder's hand comes up to catch the ball, watch his hand come up. Look at the kicker. Look at the kicker. Look at him on the left here. Look at him lean. The hand comes up. He leans. And watch him take that first jab. There's his jab. Look at that position right here. Okay, and right here with you, this is what I was talking to you a minute ago. Good job. See how nice and flat? Your back leg is nice and straight. It's a stabilizer. Your back leg's just a stabilizer. It's just allowing him just to kind of lean.